Sleep. Still alive.
Ready?
What?
Don't. Not even start. Not even try. He's coming.
Swim,
I can swim. Can you swim?
No, let's try together.
Well, we're going back.
Heavyweight champ Tom Aspinall faces number one contender Cyril Gane. The main event, the number 3 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Merab, makes the quick turnaround to face the number 2 ranked Peter Yan.
Islam Makhachev's new beach video is going viral. The clip shows him wrestling easily and looking stronger than ever. Fans say he's in top shape again, proving why he's still one of the toughest fighters in the UFC today. During a recent interview, Darius shared his thoughts on the Islam Makhachev vs Jack Della Maddalena fight. He admitted, "It's a tough matchup to predict as both fighters are strong and skilled." Darius said he leaned slightly toward JDM, mentioning that size and cardio could make a difference. He added that, although it's just a feeling, small details like these might ultimately decide the outcome.
I'm gonna lean now towards JDM.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like the size will make a difference. Cardio-wise, JDM has great cardio. Maybe I'm wrong, but now this is all feel. This is one of the few fights where I can't really give you a clear answer. So I just feel like JDM.
As the fight approaches, fighters are showing major changes in their training and physique. Islam Makhachev in particular has caught attention with recent footage highlighting his size and strength. Fans and analysts are now discussing how his improved muscle and conditioning could affect his performance, making him look more imposing and ready than ever for the challenges inside the octagon.
Sleep. Still alive.
While discussing his thoughts on Islam Makhachev, Jack Della Maddalena revealed that he's eager to learn more about the lightweight champion's approach to fighting. He mentioned that although he hasn't met Islam yet, he has had several talks with Alexander Volkanovski about him during past training camps, where Islam's skills and style were often a key topic of discussion.
I haven't yet, but hopefully I will run into him. I can pick his brain a bit. But yeah, I've spoke to Volk about Islam in the past. I spent a couple of camps with him. And yeah, it was definitely a topic of discussion for a lot of those camps.
Adding on, while discussing the fight, Chelsanen talked about how people keep saying Islam Makhachev's wrestling will be too much for Jack Della Maddalena. He said, "Fans forget that Jack is a smart and skilled fighter who can defend well." Sonnen explained that calling Islam's style unbeatable is unfair and underestimates how good Jack really is inside the cage.
And if you realize there's only one technique, then by process of deduction, you realize that you only need to defend one technique. And the suggestion that Jack Della Maddalena, our reigning champion of the world, can't defend one technique, not to mention against a 155-pounder, it's a tremendous insult. And it may be true. But if you go out there and you repeat that insult, you should realize how incredibly difficult it is for you to end up being correct.
Recently, Islam Makhachev showed a funny and real side of himself. In a light moment with his teammates, he joked around but also showed how hard it is to stay calm and focused all the time. The clip proved that even a champion like Islam has those random intrusive thoughts that make him laugh and remind fans he's human too.
Ready?
What?
Don't. Not even start. Not even try. He's coming.
Swim,
I can swim. Can you swim?
No, let's try together.
Well, we're going back.
Following Islam Makhachev's discussion about mental focus, the spotlight moves to Tom Aspinall, who shared how he prepares for fights. Like Islam, Aspinall adjusts his training to match each opponent's style. For his upcoming bout, he's concentrating on speed and fitness while keeping some strategies private, showing how top fighters tailor both physical and mental preparation to face their unique challenges in the cage.
I train differently for every fight.
Fair.
I train differently for every fight, yeah. Everybody brings their own challenge, I think, but I think in this one, we got to focus on the speed and the fitness a little bit more, just because of his style. And there's a few other stuff that I won't say in media, but
yeah,
100. Yeah.
Keep it on the wraps.
Moving on, after breaking down the potential risks and implications of heavyweight matchups, all eyes turned to official announcements. Dana White stepped in to confirm the next big event, giving fans the schedule and highlighting the main fight. His update set the stage for the heavyweight clash everyone has been anticipating, providing clarity and timing in the fighters involved.
Then next week is UFC 321 from Abu Dhabi. The main card starts at 2 o'clock on the East Coast on the ESPN pay-per-view on Saturday. Heavyweight champ Tom Aspinall faces number one contender Cyril Gane.
After Dana White's announcement of Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane, analysts and commentators began breaking down Tom's performances. Many highlighted how his speed, technique, and adaptability make him stand out among heavyweights. Joe Rogan in particular shared his insights reflecting on Aspinall's past fights and surprising moments that showcase his skills, power, and ability to handle challenges even when facing tough opponents.
Aspinall is like, we've only seen him smash. We've never seen him be the nail.
Nobody ever, right? And I thought
No.
Pavlovich was going to be the one that's like, all right, it's going to be a banger. And then he just puts him to sleep.
And he took Pavlovich's fight with a rib. He couldn't even wrestle.
Yeah, sure. No,
He's so fast for a heavyweight.
Meanwhile, after Joe praised Tom Aspinall's skills and speed, Tom talked about how both he and Cyril Gane represent a new kind of heavyweight. He explained that they've grown a lot as fighters, becoming faster, smarter, and more technical than the heavyweights of the past. According to Tom, fans are now seeing a new era where speed and movement define the division.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference is we're both better. We're both better now than we were a few years ago. We both have a lot more experience. You're going to be better, and I think it's pretty rare that you see any guys of our size that move like we do. So I think this is really like the new age of the heavyweights, and people are really going to start to see the difference now between guys like us and guys 10 years ago.
Furthermore, the heavyweight division has some risky matchups that could change everything if an underdog wins. Analysts are debating how one upset might affect rankings, media perception, and fighter legacies. Chael Sonnen highlighted that even exciting fights can create unexpected problems. Promoters must think carefully, balancing fan interest and business with competitive fairness, because one result can shake up the division in ways no one predicts.
That's really the problem with this fight. And I'm curious if that risk is big enough to take. I mean, if Cyril gets the jump on Tom, Monday morning does not come out that Cyril Gane is the greatest heavyweight in the world. Monday morning headlines will recognize that John Jones is the greatest heavyweight in the world. And it will be a very peculiar spot of if John raises his hand and is willing to come back. Will they put him in there with Cyril?
Sonnen then explained the challenges if the fight takes place. Some matchups might not make sense from a competitive or rankings perspective. Even if fans want big fights, surprises could create belts or title conflicts. Promoters need to weigh fairness, ranking integrity, and business carefully. One upset can force difficult decisions, showing that not every exciting matchup is worth the risk for the division's stability.
From a sporting aspect, we don't need to see that fight. From a purely competitive, what would happen? We do not need to hold that fight. From a rankings and paying a respect to the integrity of the rankings, there's no other fight that you could make. From a business standpoint, we don't need to see that fight. From a live gate, from a pay-per-view, from a piece of commerce.
Finally, Sonnen looked at the long-term consequences if Cyril Gane wins. Bringing back John Jones could repeat old problems with belts and title defenses, and one upset could create complications for matchmaking, business, and rankings. The division must carefully consider every outcome. Decisions now could affect future matchups and credibility. Sonnen stressed that avoiding past mistakes is essential to keep the heavyweight division fair, competitive, and respected by fans.
But what happens if Cyril wins? You're faced with, who else do you give him? And the problem if you bring in John, of course, is that you put John back on top with a belt around his waist and a potential unwillingness to defend the belt. You put yourself in a situation that you've already been in and you already failed.
On the other side, with the heavyweight clash officially confirmed, Dana White moved on to highlight UFC 323. He focused on Merab Dvalishvili, who's making a quick turnaround after his last fight, and his upcoming showdown with top contender Peter Yan. White explained how Merab is chasing historic records and milestone wins, building anticipation for a high-stakes battle that could make history in the bantamweight division.
Now let's go to UFC 323 from T-Mobile Arena on December 6th. The main event, the number 3 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Merab, makes the quick turnaround to face the number 2 ranked Peter Yan. On the Monday after Merab's title defense at UFC 320. Came into the offices here and told us how important it was for him to break the record for the most title defenses in a year. Merab's on a 14-fight win streak and is looking to make an unprecedented 4th title defense in under a year. Merab already holds UFC records for the most takedowns ever, but a win would move him into 2nd place for longest win streak ever. He's got the most bantamweight wins, most bantamweight title wins. This kid is on fire. And obviously, Peter Yan is an absolute savage, former champion, and this is a very fun fight. And you got to respect the hell out of Merab for wanting to break this title. I love this. I love stuff like this.
Adding on, after Dana White announced UFC 323 and the Merab Dvalishvili versus Peter Yan matchup, attention turned to Merab's reaction. He shared his thoughts in the fight, showing respect for Peter Yan while expressing his own desire to compete. Merab also mentioned logistical challenges like visa issues, explaining how they could affect the matchup and how he's ready to step in if any problems arise.
After my fight, I go to his office and I tell him if it's any chance I want to fight, and whoever deserves more. I think Peter Yan deserves more, and then I think also he's ready. I'm sure you did interview.
Yes.
I watched this full interview. You guys.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you about it.
Yeah, and then I asked him, and then he said, okay, he will try his best, and then he also mentioned like, oh, Peter's visa. We don't know if he.
Yeah, because I saw in the comments you wrote if you get your visa.
That's how I know that his visa wasn't done.
Okay.
So, and then, but like, I'm hoping that I will get this.
On the Ariel Helwani show, Merab discussed his mindset going into the matchup, his respect for Peter Yan, and how he approaches challenges. He explained that even though Peter has an impressive streak, Merab is ready to give his best, stay focused, and treat every training session as a learning opportunity to improve his skills and adapt to any situation in the fight.
I saw that he said he was, how many, 50%?
Yeah. 40 to 50, something like that.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
43% maybe.
What do you think?
Yeah. So same thing like Sean O'Malley said, he will be 75% better, and I finish him. So same thing. It's good for me. Like Peter said, he was 50%, and it's good. Listen, I have as a fighter, I know he's dangerous. He's tough, and he's a good fighter. And then we all know that he's coming very good winning streak. He deserves the most now. I'm taking quick turnaround, and it's gonna be great fight. And then we all know one punch and one little mistake can change anything, especially against Peter Yan. He's dangerous opponent, you know.
Merab continued explaining how one small mistake can change a fight, especially against a strong opponent like Peter Yan. He described his training focus and how he prepares for all scenarios. Every sparring session and every opponent offers a different challenge, so he stays alert, works hard, and adapts a strategy to stay ready for any situation inside the octagon.
I'm just gonna train hard, and I will be ready for worse. But I believe I can make it look easy. You know, I believe. But we all know, look
easy.
I think so. But but it's a fight, and we all know. Like, so we saw Pereira against Ankalaev. First fight, we saw what happened. Second fight, we all saw what happened. So it's even me. Every training session is different. Every sparring session is different. Sometimes. Oh yeah. So, you know, I am always keep saying, like, Aljamain is telling he's beating me, like, every time we do jiu-jitsu or whatever. He's better than me, you know. He's sparring every time.
Finally, Merab shared examples of how training can surprise even the best fighters. He talked about learning from sparring partners and observe others' mistakes to improve, and by staying disciplined and consistent, he ensures he's in peak condition. His focus is on speed, preparation, and strategy, aiming to match Peter Yan's style while capitalizing on his own strengths to have the best chance for a victory.
After his fight against Brian Ortega, he was injured. Like his like hand was swelling something, and then he was vacation, traveling, drinking, eating, whatever. And then I was in the gym training very hard, like, and I was in best shape. And Aljo did 2 rounds with me, and he make me tired. He take me down, hold me, and then win those 2 rounds. And I was surprised, like how did this. You know, sometimes So what I want to say is like sometimes like every sparring session is different, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes when you relax, you're gonna get humbled, you know. So I will be training hard, and I will be preparation towards Peter Yan, and we will be all gonna see.
Meanwhile, after announcing the Merab Dvalishvili versus Peter Yan fight, analysts and fighters shared their first reactions. Chael Sonnen discussed the announcement live, highlighting the excitement and significance for both athletes. He focused on how Merab's quick return to the octagon demonstrates dedication, respect for the sport, and recognition of his achievements, showing fans the impact this matchup has on the bantamweight division.
Not a huge fight, but an awesome fight. That's going to be fun, right? Main event. Merab Dvalishvili. No. Merab Dvalishvili. Is that right? Merab Dvalishvili. Anyway, he's going to be fighting Peter Yan. Did you guys hear this? Dana just made this announcement. This announcement is 5 minutes ago. I happen to be sitting down here at the studio. My two takeaways, I do not think are the general takeaways of this.
Sonnen kept talking about how important it is that Merab is now the main event. He said moving from co-main to main shows Merab's skill and hard work. Sonnen also mentioned fans' excitement and opinions about the fight. He highlighted that fighters earn respect and big opportunities by performing well, staying determined, and being ready to take on tough challenges.
I've seen your guys' excitement already, where you think that Yan is the hardest matchup and you want Peter Yan, and you're making a case for Peter Yan is going to win. I don't dispute any of that. I just personally will get to that at another time. My first reaction to this was, hey, that's pretty cool. Merab's getting right back in there, right? He asked for it. He asked to be back in there. He's going to return to the same venue that he just fought in, but he's going to return as the main event. When he just fought, he was the co-main event. That's a compliment. That's a recognition to Merab. That's a recognition to all the bantamweight.
Furthermore, after Chael Sonnen shared his thoughts on Merab fighting Peter Yan, the MMA guru gave his reaction. Fans and experts were excited about Merab's quick return and winning streak. He talked about how strong Merab has been lately and how beating Peter Yan could move him higher in the pound-for-pound rankings. Many agreed that this fight is very important for Merab's career.
Merab's back, number 3 pound for pound in the world, and dare I say, if he goes out there and beats Yan again, you might have to take that number 1 spot on the pound for pound list. This guy is going through some crazy names within a year period.
Guru went deeper into analyzing Merab Dvalishvili's recent performance and quick turnaround. He highlighted how unusual it is for a fighter to compete at such a high level so often. Fans and experts were already impressed, but his comments highlighted Merab's toughness, consistency, and willingness to take on top contenders without long breaks between fights.
That's crazy. 4 title defenses in a year for Merab Dvalishvili if he can pull this one off. Say what you want about his fight style, I am going to miss KOs in the bantamweight title picture, which we may never see again, and he is going to run through this entire division. But I have been sick over the past few years of seeing these guys out for a year after a first round win, or out for a year, or 2, or a year and a half after a first round victory where they took no damage. Merab Dvalishvili is getting into some scraps with these contenders.
He then highlighted Merab's dedication and work ethic, showing how quickly he returned after defending his belt. Guru praised Merab for demanding respect and staying active against top competition. His comments underlined why this upcoming fight with Peter Yan is so important, not just for rankings, but for the bantamweight division as a whole, promising an exciting matchup for fans everywhere.
And taking him 5 rounds, and he's still looking to make a quick turnaround. He just defended his belt against Corey Sandhagen. What is this guy made out of? He literally just defended his belt against Corey Sandhagen, and he went into the office on the Monday morning and said, put me in another training camp and get me on that UFC 323 pay-per-view card in December. Merab is forcing everyone to respect him. There's just no denying it at this point. This is an amazing matchup.
Additionally, analysts discussed how important this matchup is. They focused on Merab's quick return, his tough schedule, and the challenge of facing a top fighter again. Luke Thomas highlighted Merab's first fight with Peter Yan, his nearly 50 takedown attempts, and how both fighters have grown since then, making this rematch highly competitive.
This is a big fight for Merab. if he wins this against Gane, again, this is a rematch, and in their first fight, he had 50 takedown, or I think 49 takedown attempts on him. Let me pull up when that was, if I can, very quickly. They first fought, Petr Yan and Merab, they first fought, let's see here, excuse me, in 2023, March of 2023. Since then, Yan has beaten Song Yadong, Davison Figueiredo, and then Marcus McGee. Those were all decisions, and he looked pretty good in them, but you get the idea. But for Merab, if he gets this win, he'll be the first UFC fighter ever to have 4 title defenses in a calendar year. And I want you to pay attention to the names that he already has on this list, because what's interesting about it is, even if he, well, I guess if he loses it wouldn't count, but let's assume he wasn't fighting later.
Luke then discussed the quality of fighters Merab faced this year. Defeating top contenders shows his skill, consistency, and stamina. Analysts agreed this fight is about more than winning. It's about records, recognition, and possibly be named Fighter of the Year. This makes the upcoming rematch significant, showing that every move and victory Merab earns counts towards cementing his legacy in the bantamweight division.
Let's assume that all he was doing was he was done competing because he competed 2 weeks ago. He'd already be, Merab, in contention for Fighter of the Year. Just in 2025, he has beaten Umar Nurmagomedov. He finished Sean O'Malley, and nearly finished, but certainly beat thoroughly, Corey Sandhagen. You throw in Petr Yan, you would have Umar, a guy who probably will wear gold in this division. That's an assumption. I can't declare it outright, but there you go. Sean O'Malley, a guy who did wear gold. Corey Sandhagen, obviously a title contender. And then Yan, a former champion. So 2 former champions, and then 2 guys who are very, very close to it, all in a calendar year. That's insane. If Merab gets it, not only does he get the record, again, for most title defenses with 4 in a single calendar year, but more to the point, that's Fighter of the Year as well.
Finally, Luke highlighted how Merab's quick turnaround makes this fight even more challenging. Fighting strong opponents back-to-back shows his dedication and hard work. Analysts believe a win here could earn him multiple honors and cement his status as one of the greatest bantamweights ever. This fight tests not only his skill, but also his endurance, determination, and ability to stay at the top under pressure.
And let's just also say, if he does that, I mean, I think the argument might already be lost. But after December 6th, if he wins, he's the greatest bantamweight of all time. This is a huge fight for Merab. Merab taking a very, very, very short turnaround in order to stay on this calendar, to do something special. I don't think any among us would say he hasn't earned it, but nevertheless, this is where we are at. Fighter of the Year is on the line. Greatest bantamweight of all time. I mean, it's hardly on the line exactly, but I mean, I would say the argument gets completely locked up by that point, right? Beating another rival at the same time. Fighter of the Year, submission record, greatest bantamweight. Those 3 are all kind of in the mix here with this Yan rematch. It's just insane. It's just insane what Merab is doing.
The UFC is heating up with huge matchups ahead. Islam Makhachev is looking stronger than ever, showing why he's one of the toughest fighters. Tom Aspinall is ready with speed, technique, and smart strategies for his heavyweight clash. Merab Dvalishvili's quick return and dedication show his determination against top contender Petr Yan. Each fighter is pushing limits. Proving skill, focus, and heart matter more than ever. Fans can expect exciting, intense fights that could make history in every division. Which fight are you most excited to see? Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena, Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane, or Merab Dvalishvili versus Petr Yan? Who do you think will come out on top and why? Drop your predictions in the comments below.